Can you hear any like noise echoes?
Yeah, loads.
What, on mine? Yeah.
Believe it.
Oh, I shit myself then. That was a proper dad joke, that, wasn't it? You got me there.
Got him.
Got him. Got him. Yeah, that's four-wheel drive.
That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
That's four-wheel drive. Right, go on.
I've done that. Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of the Idiot with Microphones podcast. Hope everyone's doing well at home.
Yeah.
During this atrocious lockdown period. Hope you're not losing your sanity. 12 weeks indoors. Just like to quickly address some of the comments. Some people have been contacting us through social media platforms, just asking about how we got started into the podcast and some of the equipment we use, and just a few questions about us, about audio software and things like that. So we'd just like to say we will be addressing all that in a video that's coming soon. It'll be a sort of tips video on how we started, why we started, and everything we've got at our disposal, how much it cost us, and just everything along those lines, really, as we've had a few questions just sort of asking us since we've had the new wave of people coming. I know there's a lot of new subscribers around, so just like to clear that up and make sure that everyone knows that we are going to be making sure that we address what you've been asking. So, the talk of the town at the moment.
Yeah.
Bundesliga
It's back.
I am
The
excited.
first one of the major European leagues back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was going to be one of them, it's going to be Germany, wasn't it? Because you seem the least affected out of
they seem to be
us, Spain, Italy,
performing.
France.
Obviously.
I think it'll be important. This is important for what will happen regarding the other leagues, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If this runs smoothly.
I think it's a good little stepping stone for other leagues like ours, where we'll see what really happened to Germany. Did they bring the fans? When they bring the fans, what was really the occurrence? How did that affect the peak of the number of cases and stuff? So I think it'll lead us a good bit of a guideline to make sure when other leagues do return, it's very smooth, and it's like a very good process all around where everyone stays safe and it all comes back to normal.
Do you think one thing I did want to ask you is, do you think playing at home is not an advantage now with no fans?
With no fans? That's a good point. And I think it will slightly negate the home advantage, but not fully, because
I suppose you're not having to travel to the away game either.
It's still I mean, you still get the slight advantage, like, that pitch, like the little bits where it might slightly bobble, or as you said, you won't have to travel and you won't have to stay elsewhere and be away from whatever. So I think you will have a home advantage, but nowhere near the amount of it you've got. Do you know what I'm saying? 60,000 fans screaming. Do you know what I'm saying? Trying to be that 12th man.
Especially Dortmund, anyway.
Yeah, Dortmund.
Everyone's seeing those stand.
Like, all of the bigger clubs are going to feel that impact more. So I feel that might sway some of the benefit towards the lower teams who don't really have the atmosphere when you go and play.
How fit do you think they'll be?
I think that'll be another huge impact. I think teams... I know,
because this could be some really poor football if...
when it comes back.
Teams aren't fit.
First touches are going to be all over the gaff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as far as all over the gaff can get for, like, a professional.
Yeah, professional, but...
So what do you think about the teams that are in the Bundesliga? What do you think is going to happen within victory? Let me quickly...
It's hard to say, isn't it? Yeah, pull up the league table.
Hey, can you see that?
Right. So we've got Bayern at the top, 55. How many games is there to play, do you know?
Well, if you make this bigger...
Yeah.
Then you should be able to see how many teams are in the league. How many teams that? Because my phone's in the way.
18.
There's 36 games. No, 34 games. Just play every team twice.
Yeah.
But don't play yourself twice. So
9 games each, every team.
9, pretty much, yeah. 9
Which
games.
is what? 27 points if you win every game. So there's a lot of football still to play in the really.
Yeah, there is a lot of football. I think if you're in that 6th spot behind Leipzig, you've got no chance. I mean, behind
Leverkusen.
Yeah, you have no chance.
Yeah.
And even Leverkusen, on the edge.
Even late, yeah, I know.
But Leipzig, though. Leipzig that are making big moves, you know?
They are. Considering they were in, I think it was only a few years ago, they started off in the bottom division, didn't they? So
That's what I'm saying. They're well in the mixer, to be fair. I mean, Timo Werner is absolutely balling his heart out this season.
Yeah.
I'm back. Here we go. Yeah, he's playing so great this year. I mean, typical first place, Bayern Munich.
I'm excited to see, what's his name now? Haaland. He is one of my personal favourites.
He's brilliant, isn't he? He scored like 7 goals, and it was like he had played like 58 minutes.
What was your thoughts on PSG when they were like taking the piss out of him for a celebration? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that, and it was Edison Cavani was the only one who didn't like take part in that, didn't he?
Yeah,
He wasn't in any of the photos.
I saw I saw an interview with him though, where they asked him like what he thought about it, and he was just like, "Oh, it's good. It just like increases awareness of like meditating or something." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Haaland's just chill.
That's what I mean. And he's like he's a year younger than us. That's a scary thing.
Yeah, he's massive. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's
sometimes you just get those players out of those sort of European countries, don't you?
That are just absolute freaks of nature.
Yeah.
They just know what they're doing. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Stop this shit. I'll come back into this now. But yeah, so that was the German league. I think that top 4 is pretty much going to stay the same, and I think
some good games anyway.
Yeah, today
Dortmund, Schalke probably being the highlight.
2:30, and then what was it? Leipzig,
Freiburg, Gaines. Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, someone like that. Anyway, I think Leipzig are going to get them. To be fair, I really want Leipzig to win the rest of the season, just to see a bit of success, especially after
you like to see it spread around, don't you?
So, in other footballing news,
yep,
we have a horrendous
Brighton players
of all the Brighton
contracting COVID.
Not good.
Which ain't good for anyone, especially if they want to start this league again.
Where does that kind of thing occur from? Like, what was the start of that becoming a vibe? Are you aware?
Which start of what?
How did all the Brighton players like start to become infected with COVID? Why was it?
Well, it's just anyone can get it, can't they? That's
yeah, of course. But I mean, why is it sort of specifically gone around the Brighton players?
Yep. So it was confirmed in March that a Brighton player had tested positive after 3 members of the squad had shown symptoms. And then the chief executive confirmed that a 3rd member of the first team group have produced a positive test. So people are saying, and I know people are always going to say it, but obviously Brighton are in a relegation battle.
On purpose, Fab.
Yeah, I know it's not very moral to say that. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I know.
Is there any possibility that that's a reality? I suppose.
Yes, I would say there is definitely a possibility that is a reality. You go on and say what you're going to say.
You can't just pass a COVID test without actually passing one, can you? So
no, yeah. I know you can't trick the system, or you can't do anything of them vibes. But I think with them being where they were in the Prem, they're not down for it to restart. You know what I'm saying? It's all no. If it was up to them,
there's been loads of players that have come out and spoke against it now, hasn't there? Like Troy Deeney, Tammy Abraham, loads of players have come out against it.
Oh, and said they don't want to play.
Yeah, it's not safe. Danny Rose said, "Don't give a fuck about the country's morale. People's lives at risk." So I suppose he is right. You can't deny that he is right.
Of course, he is right. And I mean, putting the sport of football above people's lives is not really, I think, the intention of the board or of whoever's making these decisions. But I don't know. I feel like it is safe to bring it back in the current climate. I feel like if you do tests on all of the players and and the players don't have it. I mean, having a game behind closed doors is not really an issue.
Yeah, but all it takes is one player to get it, and then if one of their family member dies or something,
and then there's a big scandal via like a law. Yeah. Of course. Again, it's like, of course, I understand that, but it's not like a consistent.
It's okay for like Liverpool and the teams that want to get into the top 4 or whatever, but it's those mid-table teams that haven't got anything to play for. I mean, we're going to be watching them games, and it's going to be some of the worst football that we're probably ever going to watch.
I know, like untrained, unfit.
Exactly.
You have really, like, you're not trying to fight to stay up. You're not trying to fight to win.
Exactly.
They're just going to be turning up with no fans and just playing a game of passes.
Exactly. There's not even fans there, so
there is nothing to play for, I suppose.
There's literally nothing to play for.
But again, it's like they need to sort of do something with this season before it starts to impact next season and the season after, and then we're behind on games, and there's a big backlog of things that have to occur.
League Two voted the other day to cancel the season.
Yeah, it's done, isn't it? Yeah. Who are League Two sponsors right now? Last time I checked, it was still the Empower League Two. That's how long ago I was playing.
No idea, to be honest.
Leagues. But yeah, as you said, they've stopped now, haven't they?
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Personally, I just, from a selfish point of view, outside of the risks and stuff, I just want a bit of Premier League fucking football back. Especially
I do, but
do you know what I'm saying? As a Liverpool fan, this has been a long time coming, and then we're pretty much ready to set a Premier League points record. Then we get hit with a pandemic.
Yeah, I can understand your perspective as a Liverpool fan.
It's so
for me, I'm not really that arse, do you know what I mean, in a way.
You're not really waiting around for Liverpool to break a points record.
Exactly.
You would rather not see that happen, yeah. I mean, in all fairness, for me, I take a lot more pride in the fact that people don't want the season to restart for that reason. I'm sort of happy that people are like, nah, I'm fine, because it's so.
But that's the thing. I don't think people are even that bothered about that anymore.
It may have got too big for that to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. At first, I can see why you'd feel like that. Because at first, do you remember when it was only in Wuhan, and that everyone was joking, saying, "Oh,
the season's got to be stopped." Yeah.
And now it's actually like a reality. But then again, there's like how many thousand people dead.
That's what I mean.
So.
Like seeing us lose, seeing like a team lose, or even a team you like win, is not really what people are thinking about now. They're thinking about their family's safety and making sure that everyone that they're friends with and really interact with is safe and okay. But as I said, from a selfish point of view, I just want to see some fucking Togger. I am missing football so bad. So, I mean, to sort of continue the news on another, just one of them, the article you sent me before about Irish lad and man.
Oh, Ian Wright, yeah. I know.
It's been everywhere, this.
So as far as I know, from being
sources
within the football Twitter world, which aren't always
perfect,
trustworthy, as we all know.
But as we said last time, every source is slightly a bit.
Yeah. But so Ian Wright, did he tweet out saying about the DMs he'd got or whatever on Instagram?
I think it was.
He said like, I'm not supposed to look at. I know I'm not supposed to look at them or whatever. But like, how can someone even like write this or whatever? Do you know what I mean? And then apparently it was because some guy got Ian Wright in a back.
And didn't want Ian Wright.
No.
That's what I mean. People don't really see.
Like mid-icon SBC on FIFA and got Ian Wright.
That's how, I mean
he is 18, so he should know a lot better than that.
That's what I mean. As I said, you can take this a few ways. You can take it as a way, like, how invested people get in FIFA. That's a whole different conversation. But also, in fact, that, like, people don't take consequences for what they do anymore in terms of online. Like, in person, would you ever go to Ian Wright and say any of them words? That would never happen.
No.
Obviously, if you're the right type of person, you wouldn't say it in any sort of scenario. But in terms of this one lad, he wouldn't dream of ever doing that. But
That's the thing. If you didn't expect him to ever see it, what's the point?
I know. He obviously
What is the actual point?
I feel like he wanted to just put something that was...
Yeah, the lad put out on his Instagram, because his Instagram got leaked pretty quickly, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And then the lad put out on his story a DM that he got off someone saying like, "Oh, like I can see how you would have made the same mistake. Like, don't worry, lad," or something like that. But he left a name in it, and you're just thinking, "Oh, that poor soul, whoever's just tried to
console this lad,
yeah,
has fucked himself
big time."
I can't. There's no
There's no excuse.
Condoning. Yeah,
no
it's like
excuse.
it's just too far. You know what I'm saying? That's just well over the line. Like, you could be frustrated, and even if you send him a message saying you're shit and you won't be as good as who was it?
If you're 80 and you're still getting that upset over packs, you need to grow up anyway, I think.
I know. When I was getting that angry to do with like the FIFA vibe, I know I personally just took a step away, and I've not played FIFA. I mean, I still play it. You know, as like a pastime, or I'll have a game, but I stopped playing when I was like FIFA 17 because I was like breaking controllers, getting super stressed. It would like take over my whole day. Do you know what I mean? And I just had to step away from that. I mean, and even if he doesn't want to step away, carry on playing FIFA and carry on having a good time, but you've just got to think about the bigger picture. Like, getting that guy in the pack, it's not really going to affect.
No,
you.
he's probably going to end up with a criminal record.
Exactly. Like, think about how much deeper he's made it than how deep it really had to be.
I know.
What you sent me as well, in terms of what his mum made him do, if you want to expand on that. That was pretty fun.
So the message says, the tweet says, "Just been sent this regarding Ian Wright's situation and what the fuck." And then it's a picture of a screenshot of a message saying, "I'm from the same town in Ireland as that racist Patrick guy. Apparently his mum made him walk from his house with her to the Garda station," which is like the Irish police station. Mm-hmm. "But nobody knows what his punishment is. He is 18, so he could be in real trouble. The reason he did this to Ian Wright was because he did the mid-ike on SBC on FIFA and got Ian Wright."
It's just mad.
And then there's a video underneath on the thread of Ian Wright being in the lads team. Like, John, you can look at your friends.
Yeah. I'm onto it.
Usually, you wouldn't believe something like this, but this probably is true. To be honest,
it seems
especially when a few days later, after this tweet, the Sky News article came out about him handing himself in at the police station. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like because this story, like the way that tweet is, it's not like a far-fetched story. It's just like it seems just so raw dog and so real that it's like that could only possibly be the reason. Like, how would you come up with that as a fake story? It just wouldn't make sense. It's just something you would have to know. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But yeah, I can't even comprehend his mindset. I've been stressed and I had bad pack luck and I've been raged. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, even if he put your shit, and I don't want you over
Exactly.
There's no reason to bring race into that conversation. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
That's my only thing about it. Get angry at FIFA because I do the same. Like, if and when I used to play it, but don't bring.
No, there's no need.
Race hasn't got nothing to do with anything.
Exactly.
It's what I don't understand, especially from someone in our sort of generation where that's a very known fact.
Yeah, no. You should know better than that.
Exactly.
Not that there's any excuse for it before our generation.
Of course,
but then especially our generation.
Yeah, taking into account
the
way the world is now.
Exactly.
It's not a vibe, mate.
You know better than that.
Because like 60, 70 years ago.
And you know that you can be crucified. Like, once your name's out there, you've done something like that. You're
on the internet. You stay on the internet.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to bring a lot of traction to it, but our old YouTube videos, once they're on there, we can't get them all.
Yeah, they can't.
Do you know what I mean? No, it's just like anything, but that's obviously on like a such lower scale. But
completely.
But that's a perfect thing. Like, once you put something on the internet, it's staying on the internet. Like,
it's that perfect example, isn't it?
I could find like an old Facebook where
I know it's a cliche, but
that's life, isn't it?
Once it's on the internet, it's on the internet for good, really, isn't it? Because even if it's deleted, it's still going to be on some
Someone
server
could have screenshot it.
yeah,
server has
anything like that.
somewhere for like data laws and stuff.
Exactly,
like
it's all a bit booky.
Yeah, it's there. That's why you've just got to be super cautious about what you say, and especially to do with things like this.
Oh yeah,
saying these words and having this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, should he be condoned to say this word?
I know. A lot of.
1 sec.
What was we even talking about?
We are on about Tekashi saying the N word.
Oh right, yeah. So I've seen
This
a
guy's
lot of
white,
tweets
man.
about that. Like, why does he get the pass? Not that there ever is a pass, but you know what I mean.
yeah. I understand what you're saying.
That's what people say, anyway.
I think it's just because he's so down with the gang shit. I mean,
I suppose once you get to once you're in that deep, I
who
suppose
can
that's
say
the
no?
least of like his worries. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think saying something as small, I mean, it's not as small as that, but in terms of this case, once you're in that deep with doing gang shit and doing drug shit and, you know what I mean, then saying one word, you ain't asked. It's not really an issue to you. And sort of, especially to the people around him who see him doing all this gang shit, so probably hear it and just think, fuck it, like, I'm not really bothered, you know?
What's like your actual opinion on Tekashi?
It's split. It's pretty split because on one hand, if I looked at him as an individual who makes music, even though he's trash and he's got no lyrics, it's lit as fuck, you know, like his music bops, like you can't help but do a little bit of a jig to it. So therefore, I do like him, even though I know it's not the highest quality. It's still a fucking.
He's a bit of a guilty pleasure in a way.
Yeah, like sort of like that. But on the other half, this guy is an idiot, man. This guy is an idiot. But also at the same time, not because he's making money moves, you know.
I suppose it was good that as soon as he's out, because of this, he had a song lined up. How did he have a song lined up?
I mean, it was shit. Have you heard it? It was again just another one of those shit ones. Like, ha, I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? It's just a guy bubbling around. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit.
I know.
He came on live and got like, I know Tory Lanez broke the live record, didn't he? But when he got Drake on his quarantine radio with like 300,000 live views. And then when he came out of prison, man like 6ix9ine, he got 2 million live views, bro.
I know.
2 million, man. How?
That's unprecedented. That 2 million people watching live.
Yeah, bro, that's the TV shit. My guy had a TV channel. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And he was just.
But that's the world we live in, isn't it? In a way.
And like he came out, and he said, I couldn't fight fire with fire. You know, because obviously they did all like the rioting, and we could talk about that in a minute. But he said, people don't like me because I shout and I got like rainbow hair. Other than that, people don't have a reason to not really like him. Do you know what I'm saying? So they just jump on the wagon of I don't like this guy.
I mean, I'd have to disagree with that.
I mean, that's his words. That's not. I'm
yeah. That's what I mean. But I'd have to disagree with that because I don't know. Some of the shit. He's done over shit.
Yeah, he's done over shit like all the allegations. I mean, like fucking around with kids and shit. You know, like
I don't know if to believe it, but I did see one like tweet with an article saying that he like raped some underage girl or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 14, like those loads on like DJ Academics. In case anyone's like in with that, he does like sort of news, like little 4-minute videos, like news about all it, just what's going on in that kind of scene. And he did a full blown 40-minute video where he did an interview like 3-4 years ago with him, and he was speaking about all this scandal and stuff. And it is a bit more deep than just straight up that was the case, you know. Like she was obviously down for it as well, which again can never be condoned still. But you know what I'm saying? Like in that kind of street life, that kind of shit was formed. You play, like he said he didn't know as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like she's saying she's 18 because, you know what I'm saying? People can look that old now. So it is a bit deeper than that, but still on, you know what I'm saying? Like you take your precautions.
How old are you as well?
Only a few years older than us, I think.
Still, that's shady. But
yeah, big shade. Big shade.
He's a shady guy, isn't he?
I suppose that's just like the gang world, you know what I mean? Just how it is. Like he got fully kidnapped and snaked them all out. Like he would say.
Well, this Epstein stuff seems like all the bloody important people in the world have been nonsense. The way they killed Epstein off, so.
It's insane, man. It's crazy. How many people actually get caught out for what they do late, like 20 years after it happens? You know what I'm saying? You can go through a lot of great like music creators, actors.
Well, how many people is there now? Obviously, Savile was
R.
probably
Kelly.
the biggest.
Yes, Savile was the biggest, 100%. R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, that was also
R. Kelly was
a very weird one.
Like Clinton.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that song? Have you seen that song when R. Kelly's doing like a concert in like Nigeria or something?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Is oh my god! There's like no. He's like singing to the crowd, and he's like, "Have you got your shots? Do you have your passport?"
Damn.
Like singing it to like a tune.
Yeah.
Like saying like, "Would you like to come with Rob to America?" That's what he says. Like, how creepy is that? And how is that out on YouTube to see?
People don't see the weirdness in people until it's been exposed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Once it's exposed, like hindsight is 2020. You're like, oh my god.
There's definitely a lot of weird. I think at that level, there must be a hell of a lot of like looking the other way. Even with the like, but even in the Weinstein stuff.
In the Weinstein?
There's so Harvey Weinstein stuff.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knew. Everybody knew.
But no one did anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. I think apparently I heard a story that someone threatened to beat him up, Brad Pitt, because he did it to like his girlfriend at the time. But that's like all of her, do you know what I mean?
And that was like the only...
I suppose that's the good thing though. All like you'd never hear about all these creeps coming out and getting done like 10 years ago.
I know, I suppose because people...
Whereas now, you can't get away with it.
I know, because the news can spread so fast. So I was just saying, like a few years ago, if there was like a threat of a breakout to these people who had been doing this, they could...
And the media can just control it.
Yeah, they could try and contain that and pay off people or whatever. But now, put one post on the internet, it's blowing up.
Exactly.
And it's like that as well. Like you can't stop someone who just presses send.
It is creepy though. How many people,
not just in this kind of what we're talking about now, but how much goes behind closed doors to do with like other like illegal activities that there's just you turn a blind eye to, you know, like all of the higher ups. Like,
oh yeah.
Like when I'm talking about that, I'm on about
couldn't
like
even fathom.
Yeah, like that's as you said, that you couldn't even fathom like the amount that's actually going on. But I hear a lot about like when I met the plug or like plug talks. You know what I mean? Like saying about like high end dealers. Like imagine how many people are actually on that vibe. You know, like they import big amounts like from like Peru and Bolivia and stuff. Like you don't know.
I know, because
they just make lit ass music and you don't ask any more questions. That's the end.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the end of that.
That's the weird thing. It seems as if once you can afford a private jet, you don't have to go through any security or checks.
I know. That's what perplexed
me. I've figured that out over like probably the last year. That I actually realised, like, I knew you didn't have to go through security, obviously the same way because it's your plane and whatever.
Yeah.
But I still thought that you'd get like you'd
get checked for drugs and that.
Exactly.
Like with the juice world. My guy had 70 kilos of weed on his plane, bro.
Exactly.
So easy to import if you've got a private jet.
I know.
Like so easy because you just do whatever you want because they just assume you just.
Because there was a funny story on one of the NFL podcasts that I watch. Obviously, the NFL play games in London every year, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And when it was the Indianapolis Colts time to go over there, Pat McAfee, the kicker at the time, he's like known as a bit of like a party person or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wild guy. He had like 40 edibles in his bag because he'd flew on a charter jet, go in there.
Yeah.
And he had about 30 edibles in his bag, whatever. And then they were like, all right, when they were leaving, they were like, all right, we're going to have to fly back through normal.
Yeah, fly like cold. Yeah.
So then he just ate them all, apparently. He said that flight home was one of the wildest flights over.
For like 9 hours. That's elite, that. Have you ever done
That's what I mean.
Anything like on a plane, like taking anything on a plane and then done it from there?
I'm trying to think.
Have you done any edibles just like ever?
No.
Never in general. I know obviously it's legal in America to buy weed stuff. I didn't buy it because I'm under 21. But I had an edible on the way home from on the way home from Seattle. It was like a 20 milligram or something, and that was great, because for the first 4 hours of the flight, I was just like super tired,
You were flying.
Yeah, yeah. It was sick because fucking hell, mate.
You just won there.
Hopefully a new home.
Sounds like an arcade.
Yeah, it was. It was like
yeah.
Where did we get onto this? We came from Tekashi, correct?
Tekashi, yeah, we did start. Trying to think if there's anything else to touch on with Tekashi. I know his location got out of his safe house. Did you see that?
And then he moved straight away.
Oh, obviously, mate.
Crazy though.
Well, mate, think of all the
people that want him dead now.
He's been doing, yeah.
Bro, he has snaked so many people out. He cannot move without having to look over his shoulder.
I know.
Always my guy.
Exactly.
He says he's like the king of the streets, but my guy's probably shitting himself every time he goes out in public.
Oh well, yeah, that's the thing. Now, that's the thing. I've seen another podcast that he was on stuff before he got done saying like test my gangster, whatever.
Yeah.
And then now he's like, and then in that live he was like, oh no, I'm just not about that gang shit.
Yeah, he was like, hey, I'm not even about that gang shit. I'm like, bro,
exactly.
you have been sort of preaching the gang shit since your come up vibe. But he said on that live, he said, I basically told all of the gangsters to just endorse me on this gang shit, and I'll just make you loads of money because I can make lit tunes. And they were basically like, okay. So they just sort of played along with his gang vibe, even though he knew he wasn't gang deep down.
See, but why bother? You don't even need to do that.
I know, but for him, he did. That's how he felt. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
I suppose it's probably easy to get caught up in that, to be fair. But
that's also the lifestyle.
But then you're not getting caught up in raping 14-year-old girls, are you? Do you know what I mean? You know
that's not
what
shit
you're doing there.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. There's a line where he could have gone into that, but still stayed super low key and had the gang vibe around him, but not really endorsed any of their activities and just chilled on his own. Because
that's the thing. I'd say, a person similar but completely opposite in the same way is Post Malone.
Who sort of.
He's got all the tats.
He's culture appropriated the
that's
gang
what I mean.
vibe,
He's still out there, but he doesn't have to pretend that he's some hot shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and pretend he's all with the guns and shit.
Everyone. I prefer Post Malone. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I think personally, I don't think you can put them two in the same category. Post Malone, definitely. He's just a well better artist. He actually puts pride into his work. Man, 6'9".
To be fair, they don't come around often. These good white rappers, do they? But
no,
when they do, they tend to be decent. They tend to be decent.
I think,
but I'm sure there's plenty of bad ones that I don't end up seeing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's plenty of bad overall rappers that you don't end up seeing anyway.
Yeah. I know, I saw a tweet about that saying, how come no one tells you that you can't rap nowadays, and people just still put it out, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People just say, that's nice, bro. Yeah, go ahead, do that.
Yeah.
They don't, I like people who give me real advice. If I try something and I do,
oh, yeah. Well, that's what everyone says.
You, a clip, or even with this, do you know what I'm saying? I want someone to tell me what it's really like, what they really think, because how am I going to improve? How am I going to get better if you're saying, yeah, you're just...
For every story that I've heard about someone that's had a huge rise and then even bigger fall, they've said, oh, I just had too many yes men. I swear that's everyone says that. And you can imagine how easy it is, but there's nothing you can do about it, is there?
Well... If you're being surrounded by them kind of people and they're not there,
that's why you need to stay mates with someone who's actually a mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, with the real boys you've came up with that were there when you weren't trying to just flex and get big.
Because they will call you out on your shit.
Yeah, 100%. Any of our boys would just say this, and this. For example, they have when we've been talking about what they think, or do you know what I'm saying? Just along the lines, they're just super I like this, I don't like this, and then they're there to support, but they're not there to just say yes. They're there to say, here is what to do and guide you. That's what a friend is for. You know what I'm saying? But all of these because
there's too many people with stuff to gain off you, isn't there? When you get to that point, so
that's what it is. So they're just be yeah, mate, I'm all for you. I'm in your best interest. They get a big.
They don't want to piss you off,
yeah, and then they just dip out. it's the heads that have their own things going on that give you the best advice, because they're not trying to gain anything from you. They're just open to tell you how they really feel.
Yeah, I wonder what it's like at some of those like celebrity after parties after like the Oscars and shit though. I reckon it's wild.
Yeah, that's a side of life I really want to see. I want to meet.
Like go into like, because they have like an after party and then another one and then another one. They have like 3 in one night, don't they?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I want to meet like a bunch of celebrities, not as like a fan or like a meet and greet. I want to be doing my job, you know what I'm saying? Or like my sort of vibe. And then I just see them and then I talk to them as me, you know, as like a person, like they're interested in what I've got to say. I would hate to like pay for like a meet and greet or something. It just.
Oh yeah, I'd never.
Not like how you. I don't know. It just sort of wouldn't really be satisfactory, even if I met Drake or I met Steph Curry or any of these guys that I like sort of like aspire to push myself to be towards. But it'd be like
paying for like courtside tickets to sit next to someone's a different thing. But
yeah, I know what. It's just not a vibe. That's just not a vibe.
No, yeah,
I just want to, as you said, like get to them after parties, like. But I've been invited. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, I have no idea how that would ever happen.
Exactly.
But just if I had, you know what I'm saying?
You never know, do you? So.
I mean, no, you don't really.
Well, I bet Logan Paul's probably been to Justin Bieber's after parties.
Logan Paul's probably
and Logan Paul, and that's Logan Paul of all people.
KSI, the same, like all the sidemen, they've probably had a few big heads that they've met, but not as like whatever. Like for example, Nadeshot works with Drake now. Do you know what I'm saying? Drake owns part of 100 Thieves.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
I did not know that.
So he has his phone number. Do you know what I'm saying? Nadeshot has Drake's phone number for like a business talk. Like they sometimes chat. He's been on his stream a few times. You know what I'm saying? They play COD together. It's just sort of a vibe they have because they didn't meet as Nadeshot as a fan of Drake or like vice versa. They met because they both wanted to go into the same sort of.
Do you think it's quite a new thing for like celebrities to mix outside the bubble as well?
Yes. I feel
Which
like
I agree.
It used to be once you get up, you stay with us. You don't go down to there again.
Yeah.
Whereas now people bring up all of their boys.
It's because they know this could be the next big thing anyway. Do you know what I mean?
What, like all the social medias and stuff?
No, but if like Drake doing that with 100 Thieves, like what if 100 Thieves is the next like?
And they get put to the side and they don't want to see that.
Exactly.
That also comes down to, as you said, with like the yes men before, they're in it to get what they want, you know? They're not in it for your best interest. They're in it. They were like, no, well, like, yeah, just stay with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, we're sound. But whereas other people want to reach outside now, as you said, with Drake or with a few different
whoever it is,
whoever that may be, but that's just someone that we obviously follow a lot closer.
I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's nothing else really to talk about, is there?
I would agree. I couldn't agree more.
So thanks for watching episode 6, Idiots with Microphones podcast.
Best podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. Best up and coming UK podcast.
New stars. Just like to add to that 1 second. Just a thanks to Shaun for sending
big thank you to Shaun again.
A lot of the traffic our way, as we said, a load of new subscribers, a load of new people, load of new comments, load of new activity. Just like to say thank you to everyone there, and we'll make sure we answer all your questions.
Yeah, definitely.
As we said at the start in the upcoming video.
The questions we've been asked about the podcast or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that's it then. See you in the next one.
See you next time, bitches.